My mother-in-law said, our family vacations aren't optional, until we sent postcards from Japan during their Florida trip. For 3 years, Daphne had dictated where we'd vacation. Always the same beach house in Destin, always the second week of July. Always with her entire extended family crammed into a rental that smelled like mildew and broken dreams. My husband Brennan would just shrug when I'd suggest we skip a year. It's easier to just go, he'd say. Easier for him, maybe. I spent those vacations cooking for 17 people, while his mother critiqued my lasagna, and his sister Ren complained about the portions. Meanwhile, Brennan played golf with his dad and uncles. Last year was the final straw. Daphne handed me an actual schedule on day 1, 6 a.m., breakfast for everyone, noon, lunch, 6:05 p.m., dinner. We eat as a family, she announced. And since you don't work, you have plenty of time. I had taken exactly 2 vacation days from my corporate law job. Brennan said nothing. That night, I told Brennan I was done. Next year, we're doing our own trip. He laughed. Mom will lose it. Good, I said. In January, I booked us 2 weeks in Japan. First class tickets, traditional ryokans, the whole thing. Cost $11,000 from my separate savings account that Brennan didn't know existed. When Daphne sent the group text in March about July's trip, I replied simply, we won't be able to make it this year. My phone exploded. Daphne called 6 times. Ren sent paragraphs about family loyalty. Brennan's dad texted that I was being selfish. Brennan stood in our kitchen looking panicked. Can't we just go for a few days? He begged. No, I said. I already have plans. What plans? I showed him the confirmation emails. His face went pale. You booked this without asking me? You've been going to Florida without asking me for years, I replied. He tried everything. Guilt about abandoning family, concern about the cost, even suggested we could do Japan another time. I didn't budge. The second week of July arrived. We landed in Tokyo while his family drove to Florida. I'd never seen Brennan so nervous. That first day, we visited temples, ate incredible sushi, soaked in an onsen. I watched him slowly relax, like he'd been holding his breath for years. On day 3, we bought postcards. Beautiful ones with Mount Fuji and cherry blossom. I wrote, weather is beautiful, food is amazing. Wish you were here. Signed it and mailed it to the beach house. Brennan looked at me like I'd committed murder, but then he started laughing, really laughing. They're going to kill us, he said. Probably, I agreed. We spent 2 weeks eating, exploring, and actually talking to each other. When we got home, there were 47 missed calls. Daphne had left a voicemail so venomous I saved it. Ren had posted vague booking about ungrateful people on Facebook. But here's what broke me. During the family trip, Daphne had apparently spent the entire time complaining about us. She'd shown everyone the postcard and cried about her son abandoning her. She'd called me manipulative, controlling, and a dozen other things. And Brennan's entire family had agreed with her, including his dad and both siblings. Nobody had defended us once. When we didn't respond to the calls, Daphne escalated. She started showing up at our house unannounced. She'd let herself in with the key Brennan had given her years ago and rearranged our kitchen. One morning, I came downstairs to find her scrubbing our bathroom, muttering about how I clearly couldn't keep a proper home. I changed the locks that afternoon. That's when things got interesting. Daphne called Brennan sobbing, claiming I'd locked her out of her son's life. What I found in our bedroom 3 days later made me realize she'd been doing much more than cleaning. I'd come home early from work with a migraine. Our bedroom door was slightly ajar, which was odd because I always closed it. When I pushed it open, I found a small camera tucked behind our alarm clock, not hidden particularly well, almost like she wanted me to find it. My hands shook as I pulled it out. It was still recording. The memory card showed 11 days of footage, 11 days of our private bedroom. I sat on the edge of the bed feeling sick. How long had this been here? I checked every room, found 2 more cameras, one in the guest bathroom, hidden inside a decorative soap dispenser, another in the living room, tucked into a houseplant she'd brought us as a gift 3 months ago. 3 months of footage. I didn't watch any of it. I called a security company immediately. The technician found 2 additional cameras I'd missed. One in the kitchen vent, one in the home office disguised as a USB charger. 5 cameras total. The technician whistled low. This is professional grade surveillance equipment, not cheap. Whoever installed these knew what they were doing. I knew exactly who had installed them. I saved all the memory cards and documented everything with photos. Then I called a lawyer. Not just any lawyer. Teresa Chen, the most vicious family law attorney in the state. She'd made partners cry during depositions. When I explained the situation, she was silent for a long moment. Tell me you haven't confronted her yet. I haven't told anyone except you. Good, don't. We're going to need police involved, but let's be strategic about this. That night, Brennan came home to find me sitting in the dark living room. Why are all the lights off? He asked. I turned on the lamp and showed him the cameras arranged on the coffee table. His face went from confused to horrified in about 3 seconds. Where did these come from? Your mother installed them. In our bedroom. Our bathrooms. Everywhere. He picked one up with trembling hands. This has to be a mistake. Mom wouldn't.